This young man, what can I say? This past Wednesday on our private call, he only had 11. He usually have 11, 13, 11, let's say 13 and 15, but 11. Every time I do it, he has the most people, and he just goes to the mall and get names and numbers, and just does a walk around and get names and numbers. We're so proud of him. He hails in Houston, Dallas, Texas, got 2 degrees. He's just a simple, down home kind of guy. He gets it, and he's so excited to hear. I enjoy seeing, watch him. I watch TD Jakes Ministries when I was there live. I wish to watch him, and now watch him on TV. He is also a great leader, Nation. He leads by example, and every month he gets about 7 or 8 people frontline. I mean, he personally recruits every month, and he just keeps it real simple. And I hope you guys got your notepads out. If you don't, we talked about that the other day. Notes is so important. I gave a list of people I see on there all the time with notes. With that, without further ado, the one and only, the great incomparable, this is a great Sam Foster.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Good morning to everybody, ACN family. I want to give it back to Mr. Thomas for being such a servant leader, for actually guiding us every step of the way, being the only senior vice president in the organization, in the company that does these calls 7 days a week, morning or evening. I appreciate you, sir. You've been a guide to me. You've been a friend. You've been a father figure. You've been a nurturer. You've been a general when you need to be a general. You've been a caring individual when you need to be one. And thank you for being all things to all people. Thank you, sir. Really, I don't take this time lightly, ladies and gentlemen. I know that your time is valuable. So what I'm getting ready to give you, I don't take it lightly. So I want to get right into the information. I was thinking to myself, we were on the call, I think Wednesday night, and a few of us after the call had a little powwow, and people were going back and forth. They knew I was going to be on the call today. And a couple of people were saying, well, you should do it from the mall and you should do it on site and things of that nature. And I thought about that, but I said to myself, a lot of times the Wi-Fi is so bad in these places, I didn't want it to stop and get stalled and things of that nature. So maybe one day I will go live from the mall, but I wanted to get the message out clearly for today, because I think that we're in a pivotal time in ACN where we need to get the message out. We need to get the message raw, and we need to develop the message once we put it out, for lack of a better word, if everybody can relate to me. I was thinking about a title that I can give everyone, because I think that once you give a title, it kind of sticks a little bit. And I was looking at all these fabulous leaders this week that I had to go behind, and I was like, wow, we had some heavy hitters. And I'm thinking to myself, I said, God, I want to mess this up. And then I know that Mr. Thomas, is always saying, and he said it this week, how you do one thing is how you do everything. He said he talked to his kids, and he said they can push that out verbatim, because that's how he teaches them. And I will say that. And I would say to Mr. Thomas that he is an individual that leads by example. What a phenomenal person. What a phenomenal person. We have a gift in our midst, and I know you guys know that. But I wanted to look at this information today. And if you're taking notes, make sure that you take these notes and take them to heart. I'm going to title this one, ladies and gentlemen, P.A.I.N. Yes, I said it. P.A.I.N. P-A-I-N. What does that mean, Sam? I'm getting to it. That simply means pressure, attitude, insight, and nonsense. Yes, sir. I'm going to say it again. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to say it again, because I know Mr. Thomas may say slow it down a little bit because you're right. Now, I got you. I'm with you. Pressure, attitude, insight, and nonsense. And I know some people that come on these calls every day and they say, well, how do you do it, Sam? How do you get all these leads, and how do you talk to all these people? And it must be a trick to it, and you must be pulling it out the bag somewhere. I'm not pulling out the bag. I'm not. All I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen, is applying pressure, with attitude, backed up by insight, and a little bit of just nonsense, absolute nonsense. All right. Then I looked back and I said, wait a minute. I said, I looked at Natasha 5.0, and she said, without adversity, there's no advancement. I said, wow, okay, that's powerful. Then you get a Julian Lewis on here, and he asked, what are your habits? And he had us doing this thing the other night with waking up at 4:45 and showering in the cold water and everything. And I said, wow, this guy's phenomenal. And then Pastor Dwight Williams said, how I see a thing is everything. And I said, oh my God, I said, this is incredible. And then Evelyn Phipps got on here, and she talked a little bit about her husband, managing your strengths. And she said that timing is everything. And I said, oh my God. I said, I'm gonna go behind this situation. And I don't know what I can say. And it just hit me, pain. And people are saying, what do you mean by pain? I'm confused, Sam. What do you mean by pain? Well, Julian Lewis said something that shook me in my boots. And when he said it, he said something about the dark room. And that was going to be my original title. So to prevent from jumping out of my chair when he said it, when he was on the call on Tuesday, I had to contain myself. And I said, oh my God, he already said what I was thinking about saying on Friday. I said, oh, he's messing me up. He's messing me up. Then I said, wait a minute. No, he's not messing me up. I said, we're all in rhythm together. We're all on the same page, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. Now we're in the flow. I'm in the flow with these people. Now I'm swimming upstream. I get it now. Then I said pain, and then he talked about showering, and then Natasha talked about what she talked about, and then all these people started talking about some form of adversity. And to really be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever lift any weights, it's all about adversity. Once you get the weight off the bar and you bring it down to your chest, you have to bring it back up. And once you bring it back up and bring it back down, there's a rhythm to it. And you don't get better until the pain is applied to the pressure. You don't get better. What do you mean, Sam? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I don't want to lose anybody. I'm really getting there, because it's all about pain now. Then they say no pain, no gain. I get it. You sound like you're all over the place. Yeah, I am. It's a method to the madness. I'm all over the place. My head is scrambled like eggs. You're right. I'm down. But there's a method to my madness. But what do you mean, Sam? Okay, let me slow it down a little bit. How do you get all these names? How do you get all these numbers? Okay, yeah. I go to the mall on Tuesday. I go to the mall, okay? It rains cats and dogs in Texas this week. I mean, it poured down. I get in my car. I'm starting to drive. And it was raining so bad, I couldn't see in front of me. My wipers didn't do any good. The first thing that hit my mind was, I should go back. I can do it tomorrow. Today's just Tuesday. I could go back. I could take a day off. I could go back. Then I started thinking about Mr. Al Thomas when he first started. And he said he drove 4 or 5 hours in the rain and took his stuff out, his easel, his tripod, and all that stuff, and put it to the guy's porch. And then he went back and got his other equipment back in the day when we had to do it on the board. And he said he rung the doorbell, ding dong. He said, and he thought, okay, they must be in the back. And he said he rung the bell again, ding dong. He said, wait a minute, I'm soaking wet, I'm dripping. He said, the guy got to be here. He told me the day before, I'm gonna have it packed in there. You just come and we're gonna do it big. And all of a sudden he realized, I'm standing here, I'm soaking wet, no answer, nobody comes to the door. I gotta take all this equipment, put it right back in my car. I'm soaking wet, driving down the road. And I say to myself, this is either gonna make me or break me. This is my point, where the fork meets the road. What do you mean, Sam? No pain, no gain. I'm only talking about pain, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Pressure, attitude, insight, and a little bit of nonsense. It can't make sense. It can't make sense. If you're gonna make money, it really can't make sense. It's got to have some nonsense to it. In order to be really mad about the situation, you got to scramble it up. Okay. Then I got to thinking about it. I say, I finally sat in the car for 30 minutes before I walked out and got in the mall. 30 minutes. I could have went back. Something said, well, sit in the car for a minute. Then my mind kept going back and forth. Don't get out the car. Get out the car. Man, it's raining. You come back tomorrow. You're going to be soaking wet when you walk out the car. Then you're going to have to come back in the car and be soaking wet again. It might not be that many people in there. Oh, don't worry about it. I got out the car. But before I got out the car, my phone rung. Young man say, I want to join the team. Wait a minute. I want to join the team. Soaking wet out here. Sign number one. Sign number two, I go in the mall. 10 minutes after going in the mall, the rain stops. That day alone, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, I got 11 leads. 11 leads. In the rain. 11 leads. One day, ladies and gentlemen, not a week. One day. Hour and a half, 11 leads. What are you saying, Saint? I'm saying sometimes we got to walk through the pain. What do you mean the pain? You're not a real individual in ACN until you're willing to walk through the pain. But what are you saying? Okay, you're not a real individual in ACN until you sign up somebody one day and they tell you, oh, I'm going all the way with you. We're going all the way. I know 1,000 people. I know I'm in 5 different states. Oh, I'm going to kill this. Then the next day you call them and they don't answer the phone. Come on, I'm talking about the pain. I'm talking about the pain. Oh, I'm talking about the pain. I'm going to be an SVP one day. R. Williams say, just do it. Yeah. I'm going to be an SVP one day. But first of all, before you become an SVP, ladies and gentlemen, you got to get qualified. Yeah. You got to get qualified. Being qualified shouldn't take you the whole 30 days. It shouldn't. Because if you're really trying to get qualified, the way that the founders have set this thing up, well, wait a minute. You get, if I'm not mistaken, 3 services is going to get you $75. 2 more services, just 2 more services, gets you $200. Well, if you only paid $199 and offer 5 services, you get $200. Why are we not qualified? If you're a new individual on the call, please don't hate me. I'm just a messenger. But why are you not qualified? Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you got all these services at your house and you're still paying somebody for something you should be paying yourself for? Why are you not qualified? You're paying somebody else for something that you already do. Oh, no. Hold on. I'm talking about pain. I'm talking about real pain. Because people might think it's a magic trick when I do it. I signed up IBOs, and then when I sign the IBOs up, I sit down and I launch them. I sit down at the mall, I sit down at a restaurant, and I'm launching these people. And I'm saying, this is what you have to do. I'm breaking down the compensation plan to them. And I'm saying 3 services get you this, 5 services get you this, 8 services get you this. But now you're telling me that you do all of these services, in which most of us do, you can't avoid it. You do the electricity, you do the internet, you do the cable, but you're paying all these entities, you're paying them. And when you have them for yourself as an IBO, you're looking at the paper and it's telling you, it's giving you a blueprint on the paper. The founders have given us a blueprint on the paper. If you do 5 services, you do 8 services, you do 11 services. Most of us, ladies and gentlemen, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I say this all the time, Mr. Clemens, if I'm lying, you have the right to cut me off the call. Most of us, now I'm gonna show you how the founders think, ladies and gentlemen. Most of us have at least 5 services. Now that's a fact. If you really look at most households, we got at least 5 services. What do you mean by that, Sam? Well, if you got at least 5 services, it's going to bring you $200. Well, the co-founders were smart. They said, well, we want you to get paid off yourself. You already have at least 5 services. We want you to get your money right back up front. Well, you didn't pay for it. The pain, ladies and gentlemen, the pain. Think about it for a second. The psyche of the co-founders is brilliant. They're saying to themselves, we don't even want to make money off you. We want you to make money off yourself. Why you say that? Because if you're making money off yourself, there's no excuses. There's no excuses. No, 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 no. Don't push me now. Don't push me now. I'm going to fall in this water. I'm going to fall in this water right now. Don't push me right now. Don't push me. Yes, yes. If you did what you told us you was going to do in the first place, not only would you be qualified, but you'll have your $200 back in your pocket in less than 24 hours. Do not push me, because I'm all the way out there now. I just fell in the water, and I'm all the way out there, and I'm swimming without a paddle. Ladies and gentlemen, if you follow the compensation plan, you have to lead by example. You cannot come on these calls every day and call yourself. It's not even about being a leader. It's not about being a leader, because it's what you do in the dark room. Yeah, I hadn't forgot. It's what you do in the dark room. It's what you do before you come on the calls. It's what you do after you come off the calls. It's not anything else, because by the time you get on the call, things should have already been done. I've said it before, I'll say it again. We can't afford to come on these calls week by week, day by day, hour by hour, and just get high. It doesn't work like that. You have to make ACN a lifestyle. And if you don't make ACN a lifestyle, you'll eventually quit, because you're not really on the team, you're spectating. And whenever things get rough for you, you blame everybody but yourself. You can't blame leadership for something you're not willing to do. You can't blame your upline, your downline, your outline, your inline. You can't blame any of those people. If the founders gave you a track to run on and they said, we're going to pay out, we're going to pay this out. I tell people all the time when I'm peaking, I say, if I send you something and it has ACN attached to it, it's ironclad. What do you mean? You can take it to the bank. If ACN tells you they're going to pay you out, they're going to pay you out. And for the last umpteen years I can think of, when I did something, I always got a check for it. So there's proof in the pudding. Because a lot of people will tell you, I did this and I got this for it. I did this and I got this for it. Anybody that can tell you in ACN they did something, they ought to be able to tell you they got paid out. I've never heard a person tell me ACN put something on paper and they never paid them out. Never heard it. But I've heard a lot of people get in ACN and make all kind of excuses. But watch this, ladies and gentlemen. The more excuses they make, I had somebody last week make an excuse to me. First thing I said was, if it doesn't stop you from going to work, stop making an excuse. If it did not stop you from going to a job where somebody else doesn't like you anyway, and want to get rid of you anyway, and want to replace you anyway, why are you making the excuse in ACN when ACN is giving you the track to run on, and they're giving you factuals by putting it on paper? Why? Because we say in ACN, documentation beats conversation. So if that's the case, why don't you go hog wild and catch these founders at their word? Catch them at their word. If they're going to pay you $600, let them pay you $600. And then come back to us if they don't pay you, and then that way you got something to talk about. The problem we have, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes with people in ACN is they talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And that's the problem with the scenario of having pain. Ladies and gentlemen, you should always say in your mind, and I say this when I get up, I go to the mall, I go to all these places. I say, write this down, ladies and gentlemen, if you're taking notes. I'm not looking for anybody. I'm looking for somebody. I'm gonna repeat that again. I'm not looking for anybody. I'm looking for somebody. And in order for me to say I'm looking for somebody, I have to be the proof in my own pudding. What do you mean, Sam? Write this down and put this on your mirror everywhere in your house. So when you wake up, you look at it. When you go to bed, you look at it. Be the IBO that you're looking for. Let me say it again. Be the IBO that you're looking for. That means before I tell somebody else to get qualified, I need to be qualified. What are we doing, ladies and gentlemen, if we're getting around here in ACN and we're telling somebody to get electricity in an electricity-driven state and we don't have the electricity? Wait a minute. You're a hypocrite. There's no proof in your pudding. If you tell me to get cable TV and you don't have cable TV, if you tell me to get a service that you provide, but you don't have the service yourself, you're contradicting yourself. There's no need to do that. The system is set up. If you produce after your own kind, you'll make it in ACN. But Sam, you don't understand. You don't understand. It's tough out there. People say no. Well, why is your why not bigger than the no? If people are telling you no, why is your why not bigger than your no? Because if your why becomes bigger than your no, the no gets changed around to on. Well, yeah, you do know next month is game on. So if you need to put that in your arsenal, just say it's on. Because I can guarantee you, the more times you have a why that's bigger than your no, you're going to achieve an ACN. Well, how do you achieve? You make it a lifestyle. The problem is, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of us, not everybody, but a lot of us are not making ACN a lifestyle. And that's the problem. We're not making ACN a lifestyle. Because if we made ACN a lifestyle, this wouldn't be a problem. Because we would be actually going through the motions naturally, organically. We wouldn't need a guide for anything. Oh, I need to know how this works. No, you don't. You don't know. You don't need to know how it works because you're already doing it. Stop making an excuse. You're doing it and you're paying somebody else. You don't need to know how it works. You know how it works. You just need to get out of your own way. Because if you get out of your own way, you will stop tripping. You stop tripping, you got out your own way. What do you mean, Sam? Okay, Miss Tasha 4.0 said, without adversity, there is no advance. She said that Monday. Wait a minute, Julian Lewis said, what's your habits? Okay. Pastor Dwight Williams said, how I see a thing is everything. Okay, Evelyn Phipps said, manage your strengths. Timing is everything. This is what these people have said all week, ladies and gentlemen. In other words, just to put it all together in the pot like gumbo, the reality of it is make it a lifestyle. You don't have to get on the calls to make it a lifestyle. By the time you get on the call, you already have your leg up on the situation. People say, oh, you don't understand, this thing's still going on, and yeah, people get injections, but I don't know if it works. Yeah, but you're still going to work. Yeah, you still going to Walmart to get your groceries. You still getting gas in your car. I don't know nobody that's not outside the house at some point. I mean, come on now, you're outside the house at some point. When are you gonna open your mouth? You talking to somebody. Most people are not sitting in the house talking to themselves. And even if you're in the house, you got a cell phone, you're talking to somebody. Now, if I'm talking to somebody on my phone, they ought to at least know I do ACN. Because if they don't know I do ACN, I'm hanging up the phone. I'm hanging up the phone. So if I'm talking to somebody, they ought to at least know I do ACN. And then I'll go a step further, ladies and gentlemen. If I'm talking to them and I know they do ACN, I want to bug them so bad to where they hang up in my face. Because that's real pain. That's real pain. You hadn't had real pain until you go through the experience of what IBOs really go through. IBOs go through objection. IBOs go through the fact that they get rejected. IBOs and SVPs and RVPs and RDs and all these people, they go through the dark room first. The dark room. What are you doing private? Not what you do when you see us on the calls, ladies and gentlemen. What are you doing private? Are you really making the phone calls? Or are you just waiting on somebody to get on the call so they can get you happy? And you don't walk outside the house and you don't pique anybody. And then, ladies and gentlemen, don't shoot me for this. But if you're in an ACN IBO and you don't have your own services, you're really not an ACN IBO. You're just somebody that signed up. And it's the reason why you're not getting anybody into the business or anything else. Because it's not that they don't believe in you, you don't believe in you. Because anybody that's doing this stuff like this ought to be producing after their own cash, which means you ought to be at least getting your own stuff. And if you got at least 5 services in your house, you should at least already have your money back. Because years ago when I first started, it wasn't that easy. Now, when you first get started, not within your first 30 days, you can get that $200 back within the first day out of your own house. How do you look in your own house flipping your TV and it's not your service? How do you look talking on your cell phone and it's not flash wireless? How do you look doing all these services and they're not your services and you just paid $224 and you could have had your money back weeks ago? And you sitting up making excuses why you don't have your own services and you already doing them. That's psychotic. That's psychotic, ladies and gentlemen. That doesn't make any sense. No. Don't shut me up. Don't shut me up. That's psychotic. No, think about it. Think about it. Don't blame nobody else. Don't say I can't pick nobody. We're not talking about picking nobody. We're talking about you. We're talking about picking you. You don't believe in your own self. Because if you believed in your own self, you'd already have your $200 back because you'd have qualified yourself. Don't blame the co-founders. Don't blame the co-founders. No. Don't blame the co-founders. Because if you got 5 services in your house, you should have your $200 in your pocket. Don't push me. Don't push me. You should have your services out of your own house first, and you should have $200 back in your pocket. Because if you had $200 back in your pocket, you can go out there with boldness and guts and tell anybody, I got my stuff right back. How'd you do that? I became my own customer. That's the way it signed up first. That's the way the co-founders have done it first. Become your own customer. Then your confidence level's built up. So once your confidence level's built up, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. You can personally say it works for yourself because not only have you tried it, but you're doing it now. And it works for you. If it works for all these other companies and you're paying them, why shouldn't it work for you? Stop playing. Now we're in the dark room. We're back in the closet. See, we're in the closet right now. And see, somebody need to come out the closet. No, don't stop me now. Don't stop me now. Come out the closet. You're an imposter. Come out the closet. Because if you did your own services based on the ACN compensation plan, hold me down, Lord, hold me down. If you did your own services based on the ACN compensation plan, you have your money back right now. You don't understand, Sam. I stay in an apartment. I don't stay in a house. That doesn't matter. 5 services gets you $200. If you stay in an apartment, think about it for a second. You got electricity for electricity state people. You got identity theft protection. You got cable TV, everybody watching that. You got the internet, everybody watching that. Wait a minute, you got cell phone service. That's 5 services. Wait a minute, you mean to tell me you don't even have identity theft protection and you can get that on the spot? And most people don't understand. You need that anyway. And then at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, all the stuff that you got, since you're an ACN independent business owner, You get to write it off on your taxes. So you're in a win-win situation anyway. Oh, you can't write all this other stuff off. You can't do Reliant Energy and all that stuff. You don't own that, but you own ACN. You partner with ACN. No, tell your IBOs that, and you'll see much production. But the reason why you don't see much production is because you can't tell your IBOs that because you're not doing it. You can't tell them something you're not doing. You have to be the proof of your own. No, the dog room, the dog room. Let's come on, don't back up. Don't back up now. Don't back up now. Come with me to the dog room. Come with me to the dog room. Watch this. If I put in 5 people in ACN and nobody gets qualified after they know what I do, because my energy level is going to speak for itself. Nobody asks me what I got. Nobody asks me that, even if you met me for the first time, because my energy level is going to say, no, he got everything. Oh, he got everything. It's your energy level. Your energy level's down because you're not believing in yourself enough to be your own customer. And ACN says, we're going to pay you to be your own customer. So this is not the kind of company, if you waiting on everybody to play around in this company, you're going to miss us. You're going to miss us because ACN don't play like that. That's why we've been up for 28 years, because we don't play, we don't rub you down, we don't have to pat you on, we don't massage you every day. Now you want to be massaged. You want somebody to tell you, baby, to be okay. You want all that stuff there. No, we don't do that in ACN. If you want that, you might as well go to the dog shelter or something and go get you a puppy. We don't do that in ACN. This is business. And the last time I checked, ladies and gentlemen, we want to ask ourselves, if I do these services, and some of these services I can get free, cell phone service, it confuses me, ladies and gentlemen. You live in a house, you got 5 kids, you and your wife, that's 7 people. You're in ACN, 5 cell phone services get you free service, and you don't have flash wireless, your wife don't have flash wireless, none of your kids got flash wireless, but you do flash wireless. Well, I see why you can't advance yourself, because you don't believe in yourself. Because if all of my family members in my house didn't have flash wireless, we'd have a problem. Because I'm not going to pay a bill to somebody else and let it come out of my pocket. It just doesn't work like that. It doesn't make any sense. And then instead of us being so upset with some of our downline and getting in their faces and being straight up and matter of fact with them, we can't be that way. That's why we get on these calls and ask these stupid questions sometimes, because we just want to feel good. We want to feel good. We ask these stupid questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, how does this work? How does that work? What do you mean, how does it work? You know what I'm saying? You working it. You just working it from the retail side instead of the wholesale side, and you're the wholesaler. Don't play. You're the wholesaler. But you don't want to get your own services because it makes you feel uncomfortable. I'm going to be uncomfortable. I don't know how to do it. But watch this. If your boss told you to stay late and wasn't going to pay you for it, you still stay late. You complain in the restroom, wash your face, go back to your cubicle, and stay as late as they want you to stay. Because you're a slave to the system. You're a slave to the system. But when ACN said we got another system to where you don't have to trade time for dollars, and where they're giving you a tip called the paycheck. Yeah, I said it. You're trading time for dollars, and they give you a tip called the paycheck because it ain't gonna bother me once I get my check, and the check don't look like nothing. The money's already spent before you get the check. When times are tough, yeah, well, get tougher. If times are tough, you get tougher. If you got tougher mentally first, if you got tougher, some of this stuff wouldn't bother you. What do you mean, Sam? What's your why? See, first of all, we got to figure out what your why is. Because if your why's not big enough, you can't be tough enough. Let me repeat that. If your why's not big enough, you'll never be tough enough. So you got to be able to be in ACN where the pain is so bad, where you refuse to have pain as a luxury. You want to have pain in your body so bad to where it becomes a norm. That's why when you have pain, you want to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Let me say that again, ladies and gentlemen. You want to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's how you win in ACN. And then most people will start following you based on your energy level. It would have less to do with ACN and more to do with your energy level. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so if you're not going out here, it don't have to be raining. The sun could be shining. If you're not walking outside this door and you're not willing to get into the flow and you want to stay comfortable, well, you're really not doing ACN. You're just getting on these calls to hear somebody to say something nice to rub you down, put some lotion on your back. That's all. Then you come back tomorrow, then we got to pump you up again, then we got to put some more lotion on your back, then we got to put some sunscreen on you, then we got to say something nice, and if we don't say nothing nice, you're going to hang up the phone. You're going to come off the call. Oh, it's too much, it's too much, too much. But if your boss say something crazy to you, you'll smile in his face, then go to the bathroom and start crying. Wait a minute. Really? Really? You got to get to a point where your why is always going to be bigger than somebody's no, and that the advancement of your business comes from you first. It has to be organic. It's got to come from you first. Well, some of them going to get in and not do anything. Oh, that's okay. As long as you got in and you did something. Why? Because sooner or later, you're going to meet your match. Sooner or later, you're going to meet that IBO that was looking for you and you was looking for them. But you'll never meet that person staying in the house, being comfortable, not wanting to say anything to anybody, being in a house full of people that don't do your services and you live with them, you feeding them, you burping them, you doing all this stuff now, but y'all got money going out the door. How can you have money going out the door? If you kept everything in-house, by the time you walked out the house to pick anybody, 95% of your issues will be done. 95%. We talk about these Wednesday calls. I'm not anything special, ladies and gentlemen. I don't do anything special. I just have in my mind, I refuse to lose. If God is going to bless me to get up every morning, I'm going out, I'm doing something that's going to interact my business. I don't care what it is. I don't care who I got to talk to. I'm going to do something to advance my business. Because why? At the end of the day, when I look at myself in the mirror, I ought to be saying, are you the IBO you were looking for? I ought to say that when I look in my mirror, when I wash my face in the morning. Are you the IBO you're looking for? I ought to say that at night before I go to bed, because I see it. Are you the IBO you're looking for? And ladies and gentlemen, at some point, not only does it get easier, but it gets to the point to where it becomes organic. It's going to start happening by default. And then you'll say to yourself, I understand people don't change until the pain of remaining the same becomes too great. But I got an attitude in my spirit that tells me if I talk the talk, I'll at least be able to walk the walk. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, have nothing else to say. Thank you for your time. I thank you for your attention. I know it might have been a little raw. Just trying not to get, in my feelings or anything, but we're family, ladies and gentlemen. We're family. And sometimes we got to cut out all these excuses, because what excuses start doing, they start mounting up and we start believing our own press. And that's not fair. I walk to a Walmart, and I'll leave you with this. I go into Walmart, and these guys at Walmart, and everybody knows how Walmart works these days. They'll be in a Walmart and they'll be selling our stuff. They'll be doing electricity, energy, all that stuff. I let them pick me first. And then I explain to them what I do. And 99.9% of the time, they back up. But one person out of the two that's talking there will bump me or lean over and say, you got a card? Why you say that, Sam? Because they recognize they're on the wrong side of the fence. They're on the wrong side of the fence. But you got to remember, my energy level stays to the point where they don't have to question what I got. They just want to know what I do. They don't have to question me. My energy level is already there. People are always saying that, ooh, positive vibes. Well, you can't give out positive vibes if your energy level is not up there. You can't do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, I want to thank you for your time. I know it was a little radical. I'm sorry for that. Well, no, I'm not sorry. Quit playing. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. By the way, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. Cut that. I'm not sorry. Because somebody had to wake up today and understand if you become the IBO that you're looking for, you don't have to worry about your business. It's going to do itself. With that said, Mrs. Thomas, thank you for your time, sir. I appreciate you like always. God bless.